it just happens. So this is such an important episode to me on this platform. I talk about a lot of mess, a lot of rawness, a lot of raw mess. I have good times, I have fun times. I spill my heart out. I give a dose load of everything. But because the platform is always based on no topic is off limits, and I like to get comfortable being uncomfortable. This is a topic that I think is very important for people of my age, people who are younger, older, because it's never too late. And
Mhm.
I just feel like we're in times where it's so relevant. It's so important to dive into it. It's tough times for a lot of people, but people are still here. People still have goals. So I have a very important and very special guest who I've been following for such a long time. And when you guys see her, like the smallest, she's going to be so contagious, but what's even more contagious to her is just the information she's going to bring to us today and just the
I'm rooted in real estate. Currently, it's just something that I'm very passionate about. I love helping people find, the home of their dreams, as well as try to figure out a way to leverage in the market to possibly have financial freedom. So,
Yes, yes,
yeah.
yes. For of note, everything she just said, this puts her in the category of what I like to call today a multifaceted mama. Because that's who I am too. And several things is I'm trying to start a singing career apparently now. So I'm just gonna put myself
We're
in
doing
that category.
everything.
I'm trying to do a little bit of everything now. But goals. And one of the things that I'm going to be very raw with right now is I, as a single mother, always think, well, how am I supposed to own a home? And how am I supposed to own a home in New York City? Right. I can't do it. And I say it all the time. Any one of my friends could tell you, I say it all the time. I'm already dreaming of my beach house at Myrtle Beach because I got to go that far to own a house. Or I wanted to bring this to the table because I think to myself, there's probably so many people, especially after this year that we survived, with job losses or furloughs or starting new jobs or unemployment or even having to go into savings or restart your savings, that people are probably like, well, when am I ever going to get my dream home?
A media on that,
Yeah.
where people are not getting their homes appraised at the value as they would if they were not of color and they
Right.
were, yeah,
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
think it's out there, it's going on. My thing is, and I say it all the time, like, know the game,
Mm,
know
mm,
the game. And if that's how we have to play, then play that game. If I feel that you would rather work with a male than a female, then I would partner up with the male.
right.
Listen, I have a deal, I have a lead here. He didn't want to work with me. I think it's because I'm a woman. Go after him. And if you get him, we go 50-50. He doesn't have
Right.
to know I have anything to do with it, but that lead came from me,
Right.
like, you can't, in any business, you cannot be emotional.
Mm, yes.
You can. And I think most of us women are. We're very emotional. Like, that's unfair. That's not right. How could they? No. Let's figure out a way to still get the business. We don't have time to cry and complain. Let's figure this out. Conversation with you.
Right. Right.
It's like your
Absolutely.
OBGYN. Me, I prefer a female.
Hmm. No, and
I will turn you. I will, like, excuse me, not him.
right.
No. And if it's a Caucasian man, he may think, oh, she doesn't like white people. No, sir. I just want a woman.
Right. Right.
That's it.
It's so funny you bring that up because, and I don't know if I've ever shared this story, and it's very brief, but I remember when I went to give birth, my mom was like freaking out, right? And so in came in a very young doctor, a female, which was great, but very young. She looks so young. I mean, kudos to her. I wish I still knew her name. And the nurses were even younger. And my mom was just like, you're not
No,
touching her. You're bringing me somebody much older.
I know
What do
that's
you know?
right.
She literally was like, how old are you? I was like, Ma, you can't do that. Like, stop. Like, because you know what? At that point, it's like, I understand your concern, but you don't know my comfort. Maybe I
Yeah.
am going to feel more comfortable with her, whether it is religion, culture, race, ethnicity, gender, whatever, what have you. But
I mean,
it's
we're not going to negate the negatives. We
right,
understand they're out there. I'm
right.
just saying we need to also understand that we can't be sensitive. The world is so sensitive
Exactly.
now. You can't say anything. You can't have an opinion. You can't have a preference.
Right.
Because automatically, if I say no, you automatically pull the race card, or you think, oh, she doesn't like Muslim women, or she doesn't like this
Right.
type. And it's like, no, that's not it. Please stop. But
Yeah.
before you can explain yourself, you've already came to this conclusion. So that's
That is amazing, amazing advice and just tips and just especially the point of the awareness. I think one thing is goes unsaid, right? But let's just state it because it's the obvious. This is your money. This is your life. This is something you're going to invest in. So you don't just, to your point, yeah, I've been guilty. I don't always check if all four cans were scanned.
I don't either.
I don't. I'm gonna be honest. I don't always.
Even
But
your gas tank, right? We don't
you
know
know,
how much they're
like,
putting in there.
but I will say this: don't mess with my coffee. If my brother's listening, I
Oh
know he's
yeah.
probably shaking his head because he always tells me you're gonna get somebody fired if you keep
Oh
complaining
my
about that
God.
coffee. Just don't mess with my coffee.
Like,
I'm
why it's not
very
at the rim? Why it's not at the
like,
rim? Why is it
why is there is bad enough bag of chips have a bunch of air in it? You want to cheat me out of coffee, something I need in the morning for fuel?
don't mess with my coffee?
Like, just don't mess with my coffee.
And
But
I know that you're someone that needs to know everything. You need to be confident in making decisions. So I'm going to empower you and give you the confidence you need. And if it's a knowledge that you desire to have, I'll make sure that you have that. And that is what the reason why I know so much that I know. It doesn't have a lot to do with experience. Me going through any of these things. It's the clients that I had that needed that needed this information, which led me to go find that information. So I
what
learned
would you say are the top 5 things you would advise, like, for a first time home buyer to bring to the table? Like, what should they look for in the realtor? I think
oh,
that's the part that's extremely important.
okay. So someone that's responsive.
Okay.
That's very important in today's market. These are it's questions you ask. So again, a realtor that's knowledgeable is definitely a major plus.
Mhm.
So I said that's two, right?
Yeah.
Responsive, knowledgeable, someone that's caring and understanding.
Yes.
Reason for that is real estate can be very stressful.
Mm.
I'll say, and I have a lot of patience. Sometimes I have to hang up the phone and just walk away like, whoo, sometimes I'm not gonna lie. I
Mhm.
gotta walk away and then I say, bring it back, queen. This is their
Mhm.
first time purchasing the home. You were there before. You remember how overwhelming it was, how scary it was, because I have buyers that are afraid when the time comes to make an offer to actually pull the trigger. So, yeah, negotiating and listening.
Mm.
Being a good listener. You want someone that's good at negotiating and is a good listener.
Amazing. Amazing.
If
Thank
that makes
you.
sense. I said
It
a lot.
does. No, it does make sense. It does. FYI, I got so excited when you said negotiator. Shout out to my dad because my dad is the one that will check if you did put the 4 cans in the bag, but he also would still try and negotiate the price that's already on sale because my dad would never take a fine. Like, he would be like, "Are you sure that's all you can do? Because
No,
I think
that's
you could do
right.
more." My dad
Divorce.
always.
So again, I chose family. I chose family over my career. My career could wait. I have money in the bank. I'm okay. So, and I know a lot of moms probably in that moment felt, like hopeless
Mm.
because many moms, it wasn't a choice.
Mm.
But it is something that you have to be cautious,
Right.
you have to be careful out there. You have to, my son actually ended up he's fighting COVID now. He's in
Oh.
quarantine. Yeah. So it's like, it's so close now, Before it was something that I heard of, but it's like it's home.
Oh,
It's home.
right,
I
right.
miss embracing my client and saying congratulations at the closing table and hugging them. We went through a phase where we were not allowed to be there with them when they closed. And
Oh,
that was like, we had to FaceTime and just wave through the screen. So it was somewhat, it was different. Everything was
see,
different.
you're hitting me with so much emotion right now. So for one, let me just say this. Oh, I'm getting teary eyed. So, this is why, because I'm an emotional being. I can't do this. Let me be very transparent on something. On an IG live, my son just finished his quarantine. He got COVID.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
just like today. He finished his quarantine twice.
Wow.
And so it does hit home when your child gets hit with it. And, they have to be in quarantine. And, while he's a very strong young man, and I'm very happy it did not hit him so hard. Like, you still get scared.
Yeah, same.
But,
Me too.
but we still have to get out there. We still have to make our money. We still have our children to feed. And so, we still have to go there. So thank you for sharing that because I always say things just align in a moment
It
and
does.
we didn't even know and you're sharing
I
it.
didn't
So I feel
know.
comfortable to share that too. And I'm sorry that you're going through that because I know exactly how you must be feeling right now. Cause
Oh yeah, the beginning I cried like a
oh
baby.
my
It was
God.
like, oh
Yes.
no, not my baby.
Yes.
How,
No,
but
right. Like how does the market look like right now?
the market looks amazing.
Okay.
It looks amazing. And to speak on fear, and it's like, how do I do this? Sometimes we say that, but it's like a rhetorical question. Like we just say, how do I do this? But really we're screaming out, this can't be done.
Mm-hmm.
If we have the fear, it's how do I do this? And then actually figure out how do you do it?
Mm-hmm.
It can be done.
Right.
And many people thought that the real estate market was going to fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
But no, there are still buyers out there that are fearless and they're like, we're going to go out there and we're going to buy up whatever we can because
Mm-hmm.
they're fearless. How can I get this done? We're going to mask up.
Yeah.
We're going to use the social distancing. We're going to put our gloves on, whatever it is we have to do. We're going to get out there, make those investments and make the best of our situations. That's
Yes.
how. So that's the thing.
What are your best tips to a first time home buyer of what they should look for? If any of my listeners are considering, and maybe this might, bring down a little bit that fear level. What are the best, I don't know, say 3 to 5 tips that you could give? What should they look at when buying a home?
When buying a home, education is key. And I know that's like a cliche, but it's so true.
It is.
The more you know about something, the more confident you are.
Mhm.
Okay. So the more empowered you are to make decisions, intelligent decisions with confidence.
Mm, I like that. Thank you so much. It's crazy when I always heard about the go see at night, but no one ever told me and now I know. Go to the local restaurant, go see who lives in that area. Like I never thought of that, but that is such a good pointer to give out there. It's such a good pointer and a good advice too. It puts a lot into perspective for me to be quite honest with you. Yeah, I swear I sound like I'm about to buy a home tomorrow. I mean, I might just start looking just to keep manifesting this, but it's definitely, it's part of that goal process. And I think for me, as someone who knows how I am, I'm one of those that's a control freak and likes to prepare. So education is key. I don't care how cliche that sounds. And tricks and advice. Like I want to get to the bottom of it. A lot of the time it is fear. A lot of the time it's uncertainty. A lot of the time that's what really holds people back.
But you need to make sure you have people around you that can keep you grounded, keep you stable, focused, and on a positive end of
Mhm.
things, right? So that's why it's very important that you are careful who you keep as your company. We need to be more in tune with ourselves. We need to be more in love with ourselves. We need more balance, and you have to be careful of the company you keep because when you find yourself in fear, in doubt, you're uncertain, you want to make an investment, but you're unsure. You don't need anyone to encourage those negative thoughts.
Right.
Then you don't need anyone to keep you where you are. You need someone that's going to pull you out of that hole that you're in, out of that dark place, and remind you of how great you can be.
Again, alignment. Yesterday, there was actually an explosion about 600 feet away from my home. When it happened, it felt like my entire home shook. And I thought in 2.5 seconds, this entire house was going to crumble. I thought maybe a car had hit our home. I literally ran to the window. I did not see no car. But when I tell you my heart stopped and I felt the entire house shake, I felt it shake. I was working from home. Just because there hasn't been an issue with your electric doesn't mean you don't bring, someone in just to check your
Just a
electric.
check yearly, just to
Right.
make sure it's okay.
Right. Absolutely. I thank you so much for those tips.